Yeah, so I'm on a last minute trip change. Instead of going towards Beatty or Level Canyon or Pahrump or anything like that, I decided, what the heck, I'm going to head towards Laughlin. The reason I'm going there is I had a bad experience there last year. I mean, it wasn't life-threatening, it wasn't dangerous in the least, but it wasn't emotionally wonderful, and so I like to reclaim things, reclaim memories, so I'm going back there so that I'll have a good memory of Big Bend of the Colorado State Park. Hopefully nothing will go wrong to give me another bad memory, but I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to camp there. I mean, there is Telephone Cove, which is very beautiful, but the road in is horrible. So I think I'm just going to spend some time at the river, and there's a rest area not far from Laughlin, and Nevada rest areas allow you to stay for something like 18 hours. So I may spend the night there, or I may just drive all the way back here and spend the night near Snowbird Mesa, Poverty Flats. Again, I don't know. We'll see. So Lake Mead National Recreation Area is vast and doesn't consist mostly of lake. It consists mostly of desert, mountains, and beautiful scenery. It's going to take me 50 miles to get out of the park. So I decided to stop in Redstone Picnic Area, finish my coffee and have some breakfast, use the facilities. So these formations are very similar to what you see in Valley of Fire. And unfortunately, the biggest formation is behind me and the sun is rising. So it's not going to be very good. I can't even see. The sun's glaring. I got to shut my eyes so I don't go blind. I don't know if you can see that formation right in the middle. Doesn't that look sort of like a bird or something? Or an elephant drinking? So I've been driving for a long time. I've still barely seen any lake because, again, Lake Mead National Recreation Area is mostly this. I stopped here because it's the turnoff for North Las Vegas. I'm not going that way. That's the way I used to come into the lake when I lived in North Las Vegas and then Las Vegas. But I'm going to be keeping driving on towards Henderson so that I can catch 93 to go to Laughlin unless I have a last minute change of mind. So I'm at the Las Vegas Bay Scenic Overlook. And down there is where there's some boat storage. I'm gonna pan around. There's no bay. I'm imagining there must have been a bay before. I know I've come out here when I lived in Vegas. I lived here almost 19 years. There must have been water down there at some point. I don't want to get too close to the end of the cliff. I hiked out just a tiny bit more. Walked, really. Okay, there's a little bit of water. I'm thinking down there at some point there must have been. Looks like a dry riverbed, doesn't it? This is why I left Vegas. This is why I never wanted to live in Vegas after my daughter graduated high school. I knew the lake was drying up. We knew the lake was drying up 20 years ago. Now it's in a crisis. Sunset Overlook. Do you know most of that used to be underwater? The sun's in my eyes, so I really don't know how much you can see. So the whole point of this, me driving through Lake Mead National Recreation Area, was so that I could go to Laughlin and reclaim Big Bend of the Colorado River for myself. But driving through here is kind of making me a little depressed. Makes me wonder if I should just go elsewhere. And I know this was only a small segment of Lake Mead. If this were just a lake I'd stumbled upon, I'd be thinking to myself, how gorgeous, how beautiful. But since I know it's Lake Mead and I know how rapidly it's shrinking and how frightening that is for a large segment of the Southwest that gets its water from here, and the Colorado River, which is also a fraction of what it used to be, it's kind of depressing. But it's also important that I see it for myself, which is why I decided to come out here. Drove down to Boulder Beach. Okay, so that's always been there, but not quite as high. I think of that as Suicide Point. I guess it used to be a boat launch thing. I have no idea. But you can see the water line even higher. I mean, the line where the water used to be. And over there where there's like no water at all, but there obviously used to be. I guess the lovely dirt road in. It's only like a quarter mile, it's not bad. I've been on worse. And that's Hemingway Harbor. I don't feel like going down the dirt road. I'm going to turn around. Yeah, so here I am back at my parents' house. And I know that Lake Mead video just ends really abruptly, but after that I just ended up leaving the recreation area and drove through to Laughlin. And the stuff I took, I stopped off at A&W, had some root beer, and it wasn't really interesting, so I decided not to include that in the video. Anyway, Lake Mead still is beautiful, even though it is in a crisis situation. And if you're ever in southern Nevada or southern Arizona, go check out Lake Mead National Recreation Area while you still can. All right, I'll see you in my next video.